laid the background for major tectonic changes in the global economic hegemony. Say the shift of global hegemony from Portuguese, Spanish to England, and thence to continental Europe, and thence later to USA, then Japan, and today to the emerging economies, have always been accompanied by major crises. In the sense that every crisis destroys certain things which have been existing and then provides opportunities for building new. And it is this opportunity that enables certain other nations to become the hegemonic power. So it's now very, very evident in the post-COVID period, the decline of the present-day hegemonic powers would be accelerating. And there's an opportunity for emerging economies, including India, to move up the global hierarchy of economic hierarchy. Now, what is the danger? What is the prospects in relation to the accounting profession? Now, major danger would be that it's in a crisis, many firms will have to fold up, and so on, and there can be a tendency to cover it up. If you take the global crisis of 2008-9, it was totally a failure of due diligence in accounting, auditing, and so on that happened. It was so very evident to everybody, the Ponzi game that was going on has to end up in a catastrophe. But you know, the best of the world auditing firms, the best of them, the rating companies continue to partly cover up, partly the expectation that these are too big to fail. But finally, when the collapse came, there was a total collapse, global collapse, from which the economy, the long-term global economy has been slowly getting out when this COVID started. Now, the same situation today exists. Though we will have to be very sympathetic to the present economic impasse, which is not the result of any human action directly in that manner, but something, a natural disaster. But nevertheless, I think it is very important that higher standards of professional and ethical conduct are necessary. And the facts are laid with a lot of clarity. It is up to the policy maker to decide, okay, this is the situation, how best to do. As a professional body, you will be tasked to not to rationalize what is happening, but to lay down what's happening actually. And therefore, this requires due diligence, improving the skills, and so on, which I think this 9-day conference will contribute. At the same time, you will have to understand that this provides an opportunity for those who dare to innovate, not stuck in the old groove. Is those countries, those firms who dare to innovate, who will surge ahead, then that's where the opportunity lies. And as accountants, I think it's important that you see these innovations in the right background, right contrast, of course, with all due diligence. But it's important that we understand and not get stuck with the old groove of thinking without compromising on integrity. For example, taking the case of Kerala, The state of Kerala is very well known in the development literature for its social sector achievements, say in terms of educational standard or in terms of life expectancy, infant mortality, and basic needs, meeting of the basic needs. If you take a quality of life index by UNDP or UN agencies, Kerala would stand more near to developed countries than most of the developing countries. Now, this has been made possible through really investment made over a century, going back to the colonial period, where the state, or because of the pressure from the people and people's organization, pressure from below, have continued to invest heavily in the social sectors. And I don't get it at all, because it has enabled so many generations to lead a human life worth living. So it was a correct decision that we historically made. But the result is there is a capital deficit in the investment. Now, in the budgets of the government, whether it be right or left, what has happened is that because of our focus on social sector, the infrastructure investment was lagged behind. And today, now this question is paramount. Is there any possibility of maintaining, conserving our achievements of the past in terms of social standards and welfare, and at the same time accelerate growth in such a manner that quality jobs are generated in the economy for the educated generation. Now, this is possible only if Kerala increases its investment in infrastructure many a time. The more you delay, I think more your cause is lost. There is need for a paradigm shift in development. And how do you do it? Without giving up the gains of past. That's where I think the best thing I have done in my life is innovation of KIFBI, where you find a financial institution whose business model can be termed either as a growing annuity scheme, say every year a certain proportion of your tax revenue is given to this company, and the company can, on the securitizing this income, borrow today and build up the infrastructure. It can very carefully match the assets and liabilities for the future day through elaborate program, so that you never end up in a situation where you cannot meet your liability. It's a very beautiful model of financing infrastructure, which is results of which we are already seeing around in Kerala. Okay, so where does this leave you? One, as a profession, there must be total commitment to due diligence to ensure that the whole process is transparent, there is no breaking of the rules, and so on and so forth, which KIFBI design itself has brought in certain checks and balances. We have our statutory auditor, then we have a peer group auditor from international peer auditor to check this, and then this report is given to an FPAC headed by none other than Inaugural, the former CNAG, and then this report is presented in the Legislative Assembly and these various forums. Now, this is a system that has been brought in, and I think a careful auditing and due diligence is a must. But as a professional, we should understand what's being done. okay, this is a different, something different from what we have been used to. We have never been used to government leveraging, I will put control leveraging program, something like 50,000 crores of rupees, investing in infrastructure. This is a new ball game, I tell you. But therefore, trying to seek and capture an opportunity that exists, so that Kerala is pushed to a kind of model of growth where there is equity and growth with the quality of life. So I think this is a very challenging job for which you have to, it is not enough what you have learned when you took your chartered accountancy, but something you have to always refresh yourself, learn from what is going on, keep your eyes open to your surroundings. And I think this Navaratna lecture program, just in your 9 days, will significantly contribute to improving your skill, widening your horizon, and make you better chartered accountants to meet the challenges of the present. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your excellent address as well as the words of wisdom. Definitely, we will, the profession as a whole will rise to your expectations. No doubt. They are already there, we will be there. I hope you will be continuing, sir, I think for some more time.
Yes, sir. Yeah. But no, this is election time. So I let you keep around, moving around.
We are honored to have you, sir.
But I will definitely want to hear my colleague say, Kanikadan, if he is present and going to talk.
Mr. Sir, we have a memento for you which will be sent across, but we would like to virtually hand it over to you now.
Yes, virtually, it's my great privilege to accept that.
Your memento is there. Your memento is being handed over to you virtually and will be sent.
Yes.
Mohan Singh was releasing a book.
With your photograph in session, so okay. Proof that you have been with us would be honor. Thank you so much, sir. Back to Professor.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We always cherish your presence. Thanks a lot. Now I request our conference convener, Jaman Kejos, sir, to introduce the guest of honor as well as the chief guests. Over to you, Jaman, sir, please.
Thank you. Good afternoon to all of you. The very, very respected chief guest of the function, Dr. T. N. Thomas Isaac, Honorable Finance Minister, who has delivered a very focused and befitting address for this occasion, the Navaratna conference. Our pride of the profession, Member of Parliament, Thomas Charikadan sir, who was busy in a meeting. I could alert him half an hour back, and sir was kind enough to join, taking a detour from the the meeting that was in. Very, very respected, dynamic young president of our institute, Honorable Adul Gupta sir, our CCM Babu Abraham sir, chairman of the 9 chapters. I think I will take 1 minute to address every one of them. Anil Trivandrum, Anub Trichur, Jayaprakash Kannur, Dilip Kollam, Hari Krishnan Kottayam, Mohammed Dawood Calicut, and Palakkad branch chairman Vimal Venu. It was his idea that now blossomed into a all-state conference, 9 days conference, aptly captioned as Navaratna. It's a big honor to have the Minister, the Honorable President, and our Member of Parliament, our own Charikadan sir in our midst. I would briefly introduce Charikadan sir first, and then before the President addresses, I would want to introduce the President as well. Charikadan sir is one amongst us. He started his career as a banker with the New Bank of India and came to public service in 91, where he got elected from the Etumanur constituency in the by-election, and then continued as the MLA for 10 long years. And in this, he and his party, and in the state of Kerala, he has held various positions, including the chairmanship of the Petitions Committee and so on. And in the last Lok Sabha election of 2019, he got elected into the parliament with a thumping majority, so popular in the constituency. It is a coincidence that President Sir, both Babu Sir and myself hail from his Kottayam constituency, and he got elected with a thumping majority of 1,70,000 plus votes, and he has been there actively for the profession. When he was an MLA, he was our link at the ministry, and everyone, for his upright attitude, his stainless is his career, as white and clean as a spotless Khadar dress he wears. So Charikatan sir has been a big support. I'm sure President sir would remember he had come for the international conference also in Mumbai. Sir, seeking your continued support for all our activities, I would like to introduce Honorable Member of Parliament, Sir Thomas Charikatan, to our midst this virtual conference, which is 700 plus participants as of now, and more are ticking in. Sir, it is over to you. Thank you very much.
I think, if you permit, President sir has got a main thing.
Finance Minister Thomas sir and our own colleague and very respected Thomas sir, Babuji, my very good friend and elder brother in the council, all my respected present chairman and the past chairman of the Central Southern India Regional Council, all my colleagues from the branches. Very good evening to all of you, and first of all I apologize the Thomas sir that I requested only for 5 minutes to speak before the sir, as I have some exam duties scheduled after some maybe after 15 minutes. So I have to rush back to the examination work. At the outset, I congratulate all the branches under the guidance of the Southern India Regional Council that they are organizing this very important program. And I also thanks to the Honorable Finance Minister sir for joining and gracing the occasion and guiding all of us. I just wish to mention sir that I used to say that the chartered accountants are the financial army of the country, who by benchmarking the global standards not only protect the interest of the common man by having the disclosure requirements, but also work for the growth trajectory of the country by providing the framework to get them listed at the global stock exchanges. I am aware that if we take the 360-degree view of the profession, that friends, you will agree with me that there are a number of aspects which we need to work upon. The first and the foremost aspect is about the regulatory aspect of the profession, and it is being rightly given in the preamble of the profession of the chartered accountant, which was established way back to act as a conscious keeper, and specific preamble mentioned that the Institute of Chartered Accountant is there to regulate the profession of chartered accountancy. And you will agree with me that not only on the front of the disciplinary committee activity, that last year we completed 400 plus cases, and now we have started the e-hearing of the cases. You will agree with me that in spite of the COVID pandemic, the gest and the commitment towards the regulatory framework of the profession, we feel that should not never die, and we worked like a Corona warrior in this difficult time. Your members must be aware about all these aspects as well, that on the 1st of July 2020, as mentioned by Babu sir, that we launched not only the new revised peer review statement, but also the new code of ethics for the member of the profession at large. Friends, you are also aware that through the FRRB and the tender monitoring group and the tax audit monitoring group, there are the number of initiatives taken in the regulatory landscape, so that even iota of error on the part of the member is there. And you will agree with me that apart from the various professional bodies, it is the ICAI which is taking so much of action into the members, into looking into the any kind of iota of member error on the part of the members per se. Friends, it was being committed last year that we will see that no case should pending before the disciplinary committee for more than a year. And I'm happy to intimate you that gradually we are reaching to that stage that by the end of the December 2021, the situation will come that no case will be pending for more than a year before the disciplinary committee, and that will bring the next level of trust in the profession. Friends, as you are rightly mentioned by Honorable Finance Minister sir, that the second aspect of the profession to see that our members are getting reskilled themselves as per the new requirement of the society. our profession since evolve around the economic development, there are the three important aspects which we need to always take care. The first one, that we are today living in an era of a global jurisdiction, meaning thereby that today we are complying with the law which is applicable not only in India but at the different part of the jurisdiction. For example, the GST, the IFRS, the risk management, the insolvency, the valuation, and so on. So it is very important for all of us to see that we have the requisite skill sets to provide the state-of-the-art services and also face the competition which will be there specifically in the non-assurance services. The second one is that the new way of doing business, because the business is always looking for the maximization of the wealth through the reduction in the cost optimization, as well as to see the innovative steps to improve the efficiency. And the third one is the digital disruption, whether it is a A, B, C, D, which we used to say the A for Apple and B for ball is today is a for artificial intelligence and B for blockchain technology, coupled with the cybersecurity and data analytics and the robotic process automation. So what is going to happen, that the routine jobs, the repetitive jobs will be outsourced to the system, and it is very important that the job which require the skepticism, the job which require the judgment will be there for the profession, and that's why we need to again reskill ourselves. I'm happy to intimate you that the digital learning hub which started in this Feb 2020 this year, particularly by the ICAI, become a breather for the profession because of the COVID pandemic situation. The thirst for the learning, the hunger for the knowledge is never stopped us, and because of the digital learning hub, which provide not only the online learning for our members anytime, anywhere, but also offer the structured CPRs to the members of the profession at large. Friends, the another important aspect which I wish to share with you is the global outreach of the profession. The profession which was available in certain countries, now the reach to the profession has we have taken to the 42 plus countries of the world, meaning thereby that today the ICAI is officially available in the 42 plus countries of the world, which is, I believe, is the largest organization in the world which is having that kind of a presence available officially. That is being recognized by the MEA recently as well. Friends, apart from that, there are the number of initiatives we have started for the students per se, may it be the 7 days re-verification result, the 100% digital evaluation, and bringing the result and the exam times much shorter as compared to the earlier regime. We have started the virtual learning program, virtual classes for the students, wherein more than 5 lakh students are attending the classes without paying any money to the ICAI, being it is our duty to serve the profession and the other stakeholders. I am happy to intimate you that this examination, which is scheduled from the November 21, is going to be organized at the 1100 plus examination center, as compared to the earlier. We were holding the exams only in the 500 center just to facilitate our students. But as rightly mentioned by the Honorable Finance Minister, that the learning quest, the hunger for the expertise, and to see that we are the very, very important part of the corporate governance is again required us to always have an introspection. But at the same time, I will urge the Honorable Thomas sir and the Honorable Finance Minister sir, and even to my colleagues who are well connected with the Honorable Minister sir, that we need to also work upon the various other pillars of the corporate governance as well. Today, the role by the audit committee is very, very important to review. The another important point is that I always used to say is about the independence in the appointment of the auditor. Because when we are talking about the quality of the audit, the first and the foremost pillar is about the independence in the appointment, and specifically the units where the public interest entities are involved. So may it be the banks, may it be the NBFCs, may it be the listed company. It is very, very important that we have to see that the auditors are getting appointed in a much independent environment as compared to today. Likewise, there are the another very, very important aspect is about the review of the qualification. There are more than 10,000 qualifications which are being given by the professional colleagues on a year-to-year basis. But again, there need to be a mechanism in line with this mechanism developed by the SEBI, that all the qualifications are well taken care, so that the red flags by the various regulators can be developed, and a coordination committee between the different regulators can play a very, very important role. These are the few suggestions which we have given recently to the Central Vigilance Commission and the CAG and the other stakeholders on a report which is being developed recently on the various banks related aspect. Friends, there are number of other initiatives, but I am aware that there is a time for like a little time available to me, so I will not speak much, and I sign off from here and convey my sincere thanks to the Honorable Babu sir, all the management committee member, and specific thanks to the Thomas sir for giving me the opportunity to speak first before him and giving me this blessing. And